I am live. Hello, everyone. And apparently, I am very dark tonight. So, obviously, got to fix the lighting. Uh, Give me a few. Okay, much better. I'd forgotten about the fact that due to daylight savings time, or daylight saving time, excuse me, uh, gets darker earlier, and I don't have much of a glow from the outside windows. So there's probably a bit too much glare from my top light in the ceiling. We'll try and fix that too. Okay, there we go. So, thanks to those who are dropping in. If you've been here before, you may notice I'm wearing something completely different. Uh, my Cardinals shirt is in the hamper. My Kitty Goes Meow shirt has started to flake a little around the kitty graphic, so it's not exactly in tip-top shape. So in honor of Election Day on Tuesday, I thought I'd wear a shirt to reflect my current feelings on that issue. You may not wish to agree with me, but oh well, what the hell. It's a mostly free country. It's why we have a First Amendment. I think I'm actually gonna go to what was I gonna go to? Oh yeah, my community tab. It's odd that they don't have. Expect. Hmm. There I go. Come on, there we go. Oh, Lord have mercy, this thing is being painfully slow. All right. I brought out the older laptop just because it was a lot easier to unplug it. So just letting everyone know. And we got the Colts versus the Vikings. It is, fortunately for Minnesotans, in a dome, or kind of quasi-dome given the way the roof is shaped. I'm a very happy dude when it comes to my sports teams. In Arizona, the Cardinals beat the Bears. They're above 500 and leading the division. And my Suns are atop the Pacific Division in the NBA. They beat the Blazers, and as someone who's living in the Portland area, it's kind of a difficult thing to go through. But the Blazers did a nice job to try and come back last night. I actually got to see the game. It happened to be on TV. And I witnessed a near miraculous comeback by them. Thankfully, as a Suns fan, that didn't happen. Oh, yeah, and my Sun Devils became bowl eligible. They really laid it to Oklahoma State last night, and I'm very happy about that. So it's another edition of Waiting All Day for Sunday night, and it's almost ready to begin. They're showing the head coaches of both teams, very young dudes. And the older I get, the younger they get, it seems to me. So I couldn't stand up. Get this a little nicer. Welcome to those of you who have joined me. Thank you for the thumbs up, whoever that was. Feel free to chat me up for anything. Take off your jacket and stay a while. I know in Minnesota it's awfully rainy there, all of the Midwest for that matter. Hey, Nash. Glad to see you here. You may have noticed I've worn something that might be considered controversial. If people start to notice and start to get ugly, you may need to bring your mod skills up to date. So interesting the way they're doing the welcome to the fans in the Vikings stadium, blowing a horn. So Will Reichert is the kicker for the Vikings, who's done an amazing job as their kicker. And he's going to kick it off to the Colts. Lately, teams have been returning those more, but not this time. It's a touchback. They're going to introduce the Colts offense. The ageless Joe Flacco is leading them tonight. Anthony Richardson, for some reason, just doesn't feel in shape. And Shane Steichen decided to accommodate him and put Flacco as a starter. He's done another great job when Richardson was injured, and now he may get the starting nod full-time again. Okay. Thanks for letting me know, Nash. If you want, you can pause me a little for maybe about 10 seconds. That way we can sync up. Is it interesting about Flacco? First 11 seasons with the Ravens, and now he's become a typified journeyman quarterback, but he's been successful lately in his last two outings. That Taylor run was for 3 yards. It's now 2nd and 7. Flacco hands it off to him again, and he gets a lot more. Well, at least a little more. About 6 and about a yard shy of the first down. So, Nashy, you decide not to broadcast anymore, or are you just taking the night off? Regardless, I'm glad you're here. It's nice to have someone to talk to. So, 3rd and 1. And Flacco was under the center the last 2 times. He's now in the gun this time. Gets the snap. Back to pass. Lofts it to a receiver who catches it. That is Granson, who has that extra padding on his helmet. And he gets a first down out of it. Oh, night off. Congratulations. That was pretty close. Harrison Smith almost got to it, but just was a little shade late. All right, Flacco's back in the gun again. Got a receiver in motion. He hands it off to Taylor, who goes very nicely for a first down. And you can bet your bottom dollar the Colts are relieved he's not started the year holding out this time. Teams have rediscovered the running game in a big way, and Taylor's been a beneficiary. Because with Richardson's struggles, they've had to lean on him quite a bit. Flacco's now back under center again. Tight end in motion. Oh, Taylor fumbled! And where is it? Where'd it go? My Vikings claim they have it, and the referees are inclined to agree. Let's double check. Yep. Oh, just as I was praising Taylor for all he's done, he bobbles the handoff, and a Viking recovered it. Oh, happened to be Harrison Smith. He's their all-star on defense, making his presence felt already. So, we'll come back to see the Vikings offense. So, it's now a commercial break. Thanks to those of you who have joined me even during the commercial break. Feel free to chat me up about anything. For what it's worth, we're 2 days away from Election Day, although early voting has started just about everywhere as of late September. I have yet to turn my ballot in, but I will be on Tuesday. Hopefully I can get it in when it's not raining. Because it's been doing that quite a bit lately. We're now in the fall rainy season. And managed to avoid it today, thankfully. Excuse me. Was unusually mild this morning, and couldn't help but take advantage of it because I again needed to desperately go grocery shopping. And we continue to wait for the commercials to be over. The one thing that we can be thankful for when the election is done, no more political ads. Yes, it rained for you. The Midwest was quite rainy today. I saw what it was doing in Green Bay. It was quite the downpour. But I imagine you're happy nevertheless because the Bills won on a 61-yarder to end it. So we got Sam Darnold still at quarterback, and he does a good job getting it out to his tight end, Josh Oliver. Not enough for a first, though. It'll be second down. Once again, we hope for a good game, as usual. And we have beep, 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 beep going on. Oh, they said it was a first down. That was interesting. Well, they have to reset the football as a result. We're under 12 minutes, though. Again, there were a lot of wild and crazy endings this weekend. We may have another one if this one is close. Aaron Jones gets the handoff, and he does well to get a first down, forced out of bounds. So he's obviously gotten over his injury concerns. So the ball's at the 48 of the Vikings. Darnold's in the gun. Receiver Addison in motion. Darnold gets it quickly off to his tight end, but only a 2-yard gain. And that's TJ Hawkinson, who is on IR. And the Vikings fans are giving him a nice warm welcome back. Oh, yeah, tore his ACL. Darnold back to pass again. Gets it to Powell. Close to a first down. They say actually it is a first down. Thanks to those of you who have joined me. Feel free to chat me up on anything if you want. Oh, we have a hurry-up situation going on. Darnold is under the center this time. Addison again in motion. Darnold fakes the handoff back to pass. They're going to do the wide receiver screen. And Addison is lucky to gain any yards. He was trapped in the backfield, but it was the lineman he was going up against, and I'll take that wide receiver over the lineman anytime. But the defense converged well enough to prevent a large gain. So 2nd and 9. Vikings are in Colts territory at the 40. Jefferson, the one in motion this time. Hand off to Jones yet again. And he gets only about 2 or 3. So, as they mentioned on the broadcast, Darnold's had a very good start, the last 2 games notwithstanding. It's 3rd and 6 now, under 9 minutes left to go in the quarter. Addison again in motion. And Darnold back to pass, gets it off quickly to Addison, and manages to get the first down. Number 33 of the Colts tackled him. Womack. And the Colts were blitzing at the time, but Darnold was able to get off quick enough. And he's under center this time. Jones in the backfield, and he gets the handoff. And it was a nice hole, but the Colts closed up quickly, and a nice tackle by 44 Franklin. And we got a flag, one of Jade's headbands, holding on the defense. So they add the penalty to the end of the run, and otherwise it's an automatic first down. 96, the guilty party, Brian. It's weird how defensive linemen will do a hold. It's like he threw him into the forward. So Darnold hands it off to Jones again, but nothing doing there. And now they're introducing the Colts defense. And as they continue to do the introduction, Darnold's back to pass, and he gets it off to number 11, Sherfield. We had a Vanderbilt reference. That team's doing pretty well in the SEC this year. In fact, I'll check ESPN. So my Sun Devils aren't the only one that made an improvement. Well, I continue checking. Notice it's 3rd and 3. The ball's on the Colts 16. Darnold's in the gun with Jones to his right. Darnold's now back to pass. And he's in trouble. He's rushing out of the pocket. And he passes. Oh, he had it picked. Tried to get to Hawkinson, but Franklin was right in front of it. And the teams exchanged turnovers in this first quarter. Ugh. Okay. All right, so we'll have a commercial timeout, and I can double check the college scene. As I'd mentioned earlier, my Sun Devils are bowl eligible after beating Oklahoma State. I mean, they really laid the wood to them despite the fact it was a road game. They've really improved under Kenny Dillingham. It helps that they're finally off probation. Wait a minute. Why did I pick basketball? No, I want football. Jeez. Oh, there are actually going to be some college basketball games starting on Monday. Interesting. Okay. So I'm looking through the top 25 scores. A lot of teams from there lost. South Carolina, Iowa State, Clemson, Kansas State. There were 2 that played each other in the ACC, Pitt and SMU. Oh, Pitt was the higher ranked team. They were actually undefeated, but they ended up losing. Well, Illinois also lost. Army's still undefeated. So they're looking to get into the top 12 of the playoff race. Okay. As for the SEC, yep, Vanderbilt's bowl eligible. They beat Auburn, who is not having a great year. Haven't really looked too deep into the standings of any of the conferences yet, except for the Big 12, which houses my Sun Devils and the Wildcats of Arizona. We'll talk about that a little later. In the meantime, the Colts have the ball back at their own 20. Flacco is back to pass. Passes it off to Taylor, who's hanging on to it. And he gets a first down. 6:30 left in the quarter. And now we're going to hear the Vikings defense. So Flacco now hands it to Taylor, who again hangs on to it, but he only gets a yard in the process. And we're under 6 in the quarter. So Taylor leads the team with 477 yards coming into the game, which doesn't really say that much. Someone had their hands on the keyboard too long, apparently. Flacco's in the gun now. Back to pass. Under pressure a bit. Gets it off to number 1. Downs. Got about 6, so it'll be 3rd down. Vikes did a fake blitz at the time. So it's 3rd and 4. He only got 5, as it turns out. Flacco in the gun. Back to pass. Oh, he overthrew Taylor. Feeling a little hurried. So this time we'll have a punt. Sanchez is the punter for the Colts. Powell will be return man for the Vikings. Sanchez gets it off. And Powell's going to try and return it at the 10 to the 20 and got to the 25. Minnesota had a nice sunset tonight before the rain. Yeah, it's a typical derogatory term if you're not a Vikings fan of the Vikings. We do the same with the Cowboys, or as we like to call them, the Cowgirls. Not sure what the ladies think about that trend. But anywho, we're at commercial break now. And let me go ahead and check the standings of college football. Army still leads the AAC, although Tulane's undefeated in the conference as well. I wonder if those two obviously haven't played yet. It's the year of the Super Conference. The AAC has about 14 teams. The AAC, that is, the ACC, Atlantic Coast Conference, has, it looks like, if I'm counting right, 17, or maybe it's 16. 5, 10, 17. Okay. They have an undefeated team in Miami, although the SMU Mustangs, who joined as of late, are also undefeated in the conference. And if teams don't play each other with this massive bodies they have to wade through in their own conference, they most likely will be playing each other in a championship game. In the Big 12, where my Sun Devils reside, it's BYU that's the king of the mountain. They're ranked 9th in the country. It's been a while since they've been that high. Ugh. In the Big 10, the big surprise is Indiana. And Oregon being in its first year, joining the Trojans, the Bruins, and the Huskies are the top team. So they did a wide receiver handoff on their first drive, did the Vikings, after the punt. And he got what looks like a first down. So we'll get back to the conferences of the colleges later. Only thing to note is that they've got Big Ten's got 4 in the top 10 alone, but not anywhere else. We'll see what the ratings are like after tomorrow. Oh, now they're saying it's second down. Apparently they're doing replay assist in the quick fashion again. Yeah, the Tulsa Green Wave. It's actually singular, although it should be Green Waves since they're a team of players. And apparently I missed the last play, but the Vikings got a first down, so it wasn't that much of a gain apparently. Ball's at the 36. And Darnold's back to pass after faking the handoff. Oh, and he gets it to Jefferson. Any quarterback's favorite target if they were to be on the Vikings. And it's a first down with under 3 left in the quarter. That's his first catch of the night. They tried to do a zone, it looks like, and the zone had a hole in it. So the ball's at the 44.5 of the Colts. And it's a pitch out to Jones. But the Colts read that well and had guys out there and only able to gain a yard before being forced out of bounds. So 2nd and 9. Darnold back to pass, and he's going to do a screen to Jones, but that play did not develop well, and the Colts were there. Stewart with the tackle behind the scrimmage. And it'll be 3rd and a lot more. Stewart ends with a D. Yeah, they couldn't really get the formation with the offensive lineman going well. So it's 3rd and 17, and it forced the Vikes back into their own territory. So Darnold's in the gun. He's back to pass. And he's going to get it to Hawkinson, who is upended by Moore. So it'll be 4th down, and it'll be the Vikings' turn to punt. We still don't have a score. And the first quarter is almost over. So that was Moore with a tackle. Wright's going to be the punter for the Vikings, and Downs will be the return man for the Colts. Wright gets the kickoff, and there's a signal for the fair catch, but it goes into the end zone. It'll be a touchback. Yeah, that was quite the bloodbath in the top 25. Good job noting that. Yeah, Ohio State and Penn State played to try and help determine who is going to be the leader of that conference. And it's going to be, it looks like, between Ohio State and Oregon at the end. So they have a handoff to Taylor for yard gain. Oregon's the only team that defected from the Pac-12 that's doing exceptionally well or doing really well. They're actually the exception. Washington's only 5-4, and the California schools both have losing records. And they were the ones that started this whole mess. I wonder if they're regretting the move now. You got a long ways to go for your flights to the games. Hello to everyone who's joining me on the commercial break. For all the Pac-12 teams, I mean, you have the potential of going all the way as far east as New Jersey. I mean, there's Maryland, there's Pennsylvania. The Big Ten stretches out everywhere now. So I don't know what goes into the scheduling for college games nowadays because they no longer have East versus Eastern and Western or Northern and Southern divisions within the conference. And the Mid-American has unfortunately been a sop to a lot of the major conferences. Their best team is 6-3, although Western Michigan at 5-3 overall is the only undefeated team in the conference. And then we have the Mountain West, who the Pac-12 poached quite a few teams from. So it's like all of the West is just cannibalizing each other. Boise State and Colorado State are undefeated in that conference, but Boise State has the lead in terms of the overall record at 7-1, so they're angling for a playoff berth. Washington State, despite being on its lonesome with Oregon State, is 7-1 and ranked 20th as of last Saturday. The Southeast, for once, has no undefeated teams. They're eating each other up as well, although they had 8 teams in the top 25. And Vanderbilt was actually ranked 24th. I did not know that. Oh, wait a second. If the rankings came out today and they weren't ranked as of last week, yeah. So it looks like there may be some changes. Good for them. So Taylor made a good run of 4 yards. Oklahoma's 1-4 there, so I wonder if they're regretting the move as well. Flacco back to pass, and it's tipped and incomplete. So it'll be 4th and down, yet another punt. Well, at least it's close. You don't want a purely defensive matchup. 24 wound up tipping the ball. That was Bynum. So Sanchez has the punt away. Powell couldn't get it because it was going out of bounds. And it looks like it went out at the 20. And they're going over the fact that Darnold's not only had 6 coaches in his 7 years, he's had 6 offensive coordinators. So Darnold's under center at the moment. Ball's actually at the 25. No, that's not Jones. It's 27. Cam Akers gets a first down. Nice run by him. 14 minutes left in the half. And hurry up with Darnold in the under center. Oh, now he audibles. Addison in motion. Hands off to Jones again. Oh, no. Sorry. It's Akers again. Gets the 41.5. Ham's the one in motion this time as Darnold's under center. Ham's in motion again. Darnold's now back to pass, and he gets it to Akers, who sloughs off a block from Ham, and 45 of the Colts' speed, the appropriately named speed, gets the tackle. In the meantime, the last conference to look at is the Sun Belt. The Southwest Louisiana Raging Cajuns are the only undefeated team, and the conference is the only one to divide between West and East. Georgia Southern's leading in the East, although they don't have the best overall record. That belongs to James Madison. Darnold back to pass. He gets it to Hawkinson, who manages to just get over the line for first down. Although we have laundry, as Tom Grossi would say. Oh, it's holding on the offense. So that play is negated, most definitely. Robinson is the guilty party, number 74, the Vikings. And apparently, he'd just been traded to the Vikings from the Jaguars. I'm sure he's happy being on a winning team. But you gotta not penalize your new team. Oh, they're doing a couple of laterals. And Aaron Jones, he does the shake and bake, gets a first down. So it went from Darnold to Jefferson to Jones in what was a double screen. And number 97's going crazy trying to bat the ball down not one but 2 directions. And Jones bobbled the ball as he caught it, but he managed to hold on to it and do a little shimmy to get past the defensive lineman, and they're in Colts territory at the 47. Darnold now fakes the handoff to Jones, and he is dumped. Oh, the ball went out! So, okay, Moore took it in for a touchdown for the Colts, but there's a flag on the play, so let's see what the heck happened here. So Bruckner had the sack, and Darnold happened to cough up the ball. Up. No foul on the play. Ruling on the field's a touchdown. So we have our first score of the game, and it's a defensive pickup 6. The ball did come out, although there was a bit of a blow to the head by Bruckner on Darnold. Now, a couple of years ago, the Colts had a 33-0 lead over the Vikings, which the Vikings came back from. So no lead is guaranteed in this league, although Gay gets the extra point to put the Colts up 7-0. I probably should have gotten more excited, but sometimes when shock plays happen like that, it's like, kind of freeze up. Sorry about that. Okay. Yeah, I did not forget Indiana, although it's been a while since I've been back to chat, so yeah, that's probably the big surprise in the college football world. Let's see. Nash, are you talking about for a future Sunday night game or what? Need a little clarification. Given the Raiders' god-awful season, I don't know if anyone outside of Vegas or the diehards from their Oakland and LA days are going to want to see them on TV. Their quarterback situation is just pitiful. Minshew's had his moments over the years, but not enough of them. So, yeah, that big comeback game was 2 years ago. So the Colts are going to kick it off. Gay will be the one to do the kicking. Oh, that was Stewart who did the sack. So 2 weeks in a row, Darnold's been hit in the head or face masked, and no call. Jade's not going to be a happy camper. At any rate, Jones is getting the carry. Gets 2 yards. You see he got 3. Darnold's in the gun. Jones is to his right near the line. Darnold's now back to pass. Gets it to Josh Oliver, the tight end. He gets a first down. So the Vikings have dug themselves a hole right away as we're under 10 to go. And they got to climb back out of it. Forgive the general obvious moment. Darnold's under center as Addison goes in motion. And it's a fake handoff to Jones. Darnold gets the pass off to Oliver again. He gets about 8.5, 9. No huddle with Darnold under center. He hands it off to Jones. Oh! It looked like he was going to get the first, and Franklin came over and obliterated him just short of the line. So it's 3rd and 1. Ball's at the 44 of the Colts. And Jones again is stopped. This time it was the whole defensive line that kept it short. And the crowd you're hearing a few boos from. Now, it looks like they're going to go for it. And it looks like he actually wants to call a timeout and discuss this. As it's been noted, the Vikings have 10 first downs, but nothing to show for it. Oh, the Rams beat Seattle in overtime. Seattle, I saw that game, and Seattle was driving to start that overtime period, and they were in Rams territory. I don't know what the heck happened there. So the Rams have made a bit of a comeback. They decided to do the Viking Voom, and they get the first down. Darnold keeps having to adjust his helmet, take it off, and put back on again. So we're halfway through the quarter. Darnold's in the gun. Back to pass. And he's forced to run and gets about to the line of scrimmage. I don't know if they'll credit Stewart for the sack. It's now 7 minutes left. Let's see. It looked like he went down at the 42. And he lost a half a yard. Darnold back to pass again. This time he gets it off to Akers to the 35. Jones with the tackle for the Colts. So I'm going to check the NFL. Hey there, thanks to the new person for showing up. Or not. So the Niners had a bye. We'll go over that later. Darnold with the pass. He was hit as he threw, trying to get to Jefferson, but it went a bit awry, and it's incomplete, so it's 4th and 3. And they're going to try a field goal. So the Steelers and the Niners had byes this weekend. The only teams to do so. And with the Niners having a bye, they're 4 and 4. The Rams are now 4 and 4, and the Seahawks are 4 and 5, while my Cardinals still lead the division. Reichert with the kick, and it's no good. That's his first miss of any kind this year. Bad time to do that. Yeah, my Cardinals are on top, even if it's only a half a game on top. Oh, so let's go over the Vikings schedule. Come on. There we go. Yeah, nobody's going to want to flex the Raiders. As it is, the NFC North is playing the AFC South and would play only one other team from the AFC who was in the same position as last year as the Vikings were in their own division. They played the Raiders in the preseason, but the other team, the other AFC team they faced early on already was the Texans, who they beat handily, although that's seeming like a long time ago. If you're a Vikings fan at this point. They'll be playing the Jaguars and then the Titans next, both on the road. I imagine they're hoping those will be easy wins, although the Titans got their second win against New England in overtime. The Jaguars almost beat the Eagles in Philly. So they're trying to get their stuff together. It may not be so easy wins. Also on the schedule is the Bears, the Cardinals, the Falcons, the Bears again, the Seahawks, the Packers, and then the Lions. So it's all, once they're done with the AFC South, it's against the NFC from there on out. Okay. We had an incomplete pass by the Colts. I seem to have gotten a bit out of it as far as the progress of this game goes. I don't know how the Colts got the ball back. At any rate, Flacco gets a pass completed to Downs, number 1 of the Colts, and he get a first down out of it. Of all the times to have a senior moment. Oh, right, the missed field goal. Okay, no wonder they had great field position. And we have a handoff to Taylor, who barely gets anything. Tries to fight for more. He gets about 2. We're under 5 minutes to go in the half. Well, so far, this game has been a bit sluggish and sloppy. Considering it's in a domed environment, you wouldn't expect such sloppiness. 3 turnovers already and multiple punts. In the meantime, Antonio Pierce got a catch from Flacco. So the Colts are driving nicely. First down. Now under 4 minutes. Flacco's on the gun. Fakes the handoff. Back to pass. We've got a flag already. And it's complete to Quinson. Oh, Granson. Well, let's see what the flag's about. Stops the clock with 3:41. Illegal shift on the offense. And Granson was the guilty party. There haven't been many accepted penalties in this game. They're showing Richardson's request to get pulled out of the game, and they had him yawning on the sidelines. In the meantime, they tried another screen. The Colts did, and the Vikings again snuffed it out. And that was a tackle for a big loss. Second and 19. And the crowd's trying to get up and get the Vikings D pumped. They're threatening blitz, but they don't. Flacco's back to pass, but the pass was a bit awry to Downs, and it's incomplete, so it'll be third and 19. And we have officially 2:40 left. He had Downs in his sights, but the pass went a little behind him as Downs was trying to dive for it. So Flacco in the gun. He hands it off quickly to Taylor, and nothing doing. Gets a yard. One of those draws that rarely ever works. Vikings had an 8-man front. So we're gonna apparently have the Colts winding down the clock to the 2-minute warning. If Tirico said erratic about this first half, he's right on the mark. So they may go for the field goal, but they're going to take time to discuss it. Now, let's see here. Oh, yeah, I want to look at. Oh, they have soccer up as a permanent choice in ESPN's headline. Although, oh, and there's the NWSL. My Portland Thorns were in the playoff race. Unfortunately, the Timbers got knocked out something fierce on the men's side. So it says they're tied for 7th place with the new expansion San Francisco Bay team. Oh no, wait, that's 6th. We'll talk a little more about that. So whoever's joined me, welcome. Feel free to chat me up about anything. So they are going to try for the field goal as opposed to punt. It's going to be 53 yards. And the snap, the hold, the kick, and that's not going to be any good either. So 1:55 left in the half, and it'll be the Vikings' turn with good field position and trying to get a score on the board. Just like Reichert's kick, it's just a little off to the side. So let's see if we can get an offensive score for the first time by anybody. Minnesota's has 18 minutes of possession, 11 first downs, and no score on account of those 2 turnovers. Darnold back to pass from the 43. He gets Jefferson in the middle of the field. Let me guess, another zone defense that did not go well. And they're going to do the no huddle and get back up to the line of scrimmage right away. It's a first down. So it's under 130. Ball's at the 35 of the Colts. Darnold's back to pass. He tried to do the screen again. It was well read, so Darnold just chucked it into the ground. Or should I say into the asphalt bits of the artificial turf. So 1:23 left. Jones is to Darnold's left. He's in the gun. Now back to pass. Gets it off, and he gets it to Jefferson again, who this time was in single coverage, but Darnold saw Jefferson go inside on the route, and his eyes got wide as saucers when he saw that. 40 and 20, Jones and Cross of the Colts were on the tackle. And now the Colts have taken a timeout. They really need to get their stuff together to avoid giving up a touchdown. Ball went to the 11. $1:13 left. They put it down at the 11.5 officially. Darnold's in the gun. Jones is to his left again. He hands it off to Jones, and he gets 2.5. And now that forces the Colts to take another timeout because they might want to get a score before the half. They're showing diamonds in Justin Jefferson's teeth. He's got insurance. So there's 1:10 left. You wonder if the Vikings are going to run it again to force the Colts to take their final timeout. It'll be trips to the left for the Vikings. Hawkinson's in motion. Jones is to the right. No, they're going to pass it. And, he's in trouble. And now Minnesota's probably going to be the one that has to take a timeout. With 1:05 left. Buckner got the sack. Three sacks for the Colts now. Vikings don't have any. Oh, it was the Colts who called the timeout. That's it. So regardless of what happened, the Colts ended up calling a timeout anyway. But the Vikings have 3rd and 20. So they need to get to the 2 for a first down. Darnold's back to pass again. And he gets it to Jefferson, but it's well short of the first down. And a few boos for the choice. And they're just going to let the clock wind down and then kick a field goal. And Collinsworth admits this has been a strange half. So they call the timeout with 17 seconds left. And hello to whoever's joining me as we wait the field goal attempt. Feel free to chat me up about anything if you want. Take off your jacket and stay a while. Okay, Reichert's gonna kick it again. It'll be 31 yards this time. Oh, he doinked it! Oh my, oh my. 0 for 2 after going perfect the first 7 games. Somebody's got a hitch in their giddy up tonight. Ay, 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 ay. I'm trying not to yawn. It's a good thing I don't do this full time, because then I'd have to suffer through the Giants-Panthers game in Germany. People have been apologizing for that here in the States since it got put on the schedule. Nothing's changed. I pity the fools in Munich. Or as they would call it, Munchen. Or is it Munken? So, we continue to wait. I'm actually going to check something out on my other PC. I give you share number 3. I can still see the screen from here. For what it's worth, they kneel down and let's see as I unmute it. And yeah, the boos are continuing as Melissa Stark questions Kevin O'Connell about what's going on. And I'll get to look at Cardinals highlights again. 29-9 over the Bears. Another good old-fashioned butt whipping at home, which they have not done in a while. $92 yards for the Colts in the half. But the way things have gone with the turnovers, they're up in the lead. Oh, yeah. The Saquon Barkley machinations. And they're showing the go-ahead touchdown for the Rams in OT. So apparently it was a All right, sorry about that. I need to be careful with what my knee is doing and how close it is to my TV tray. Okay. Well, Nash, if you want to go ahead and raid people, go ahead. Maybe I'll be the subject of one again. I like to think that my t-shirt would be a bit of an attention getter, but apparently not. Just wish I didn't have to see all this ideological nonsense crossing my eyes. Oh, yes, scorigami. How has that gone today? None. Cardinals and Bears had a more unique score than usual, but apparently this already happened twice. Let's see. Ugh. Gotta draw the blinds and hopefully not get tangled up. Hmm. So that Rams win was the product of a one-handed grab in the end zone. I'll have to look at the bigger highlights to see how that game went down. And yes, the Cowboys lost again. Always a good day when that happens. And the Falcons have greatly improved, it appears. See if Kirk Cousins can extend his success into the playoffs this time. Because the Lions, they're looking like world beaters in the NFC right now. So next week, apparently, it's going to be the Lions and the Texans. That should be a good one. So each has lost a key piece for the year. It was Hutchinson for the Lions and Diggs last week for the Texans. Although I think with Hutchinson having a broken leg, he may be able to come back in time for the playoffs. Yeah, 3 missed field goals in the first half doesn't make for scintillating offensive production. They've been replaying that Saquon Barkley reverse jump, reverse hurdle over the Jaguars. It looked like he got a helmet to the head as well after he was coming to hit the ground. Thankfully, he didn't get seriously hurt as a result of that. Well, I don't know when your bedtime is, Nash, but be thankful you're not calling this one yourself. It would lull you to sleep. Although you'd probably need that since tomorrow, I imagine, the school day. Don't know if there'll be any more highlights. It's kind of hoping to see the Cardinals be featured a little more. You know, I thought that the Packers-Lions game was going to be on CBS because that's the way it had been scheduled. The Rams and the Seahawks were on Fox. But that was the only game that it turned out was there. So I'm busy trying to watch that, listen to Grossi, and play my Star Trek game all at the same time with varying degrees of success. Well, I'm going to try and hang on for this one. We'll see what kind of halftime adjustments have been made. So, got to get back to my game for a minute. Ugh. I'm already getting the munchies. Ugh. So, they're talking to the Colts coach now. So Jefferson had another catch. And now Jones has a nice run of about 4 or 5 yards. Quite obviously, we're back in action. Spent too long on the game on my PC. Okay. Yeah. Having some snack pack. Darnold's back to pass. And he's got Hawkinson at the 26. Falls down on the turf. Touched by the defense. It's another first down for the Vikings. This won't fill my stomach much, but it's something. It's at the 26. Whoops! And bunch of flags. They call encroachment on Bruckner. Or no, it's Stewart. $13-14 left in the quarter. They hand off to Jones again, and he falls just short of a first down. Got 4. Oh, and they do a no huddle, and they do a Viking boom, and Darnold gets the first. So they're really moving now. Under 12 now in the quarter. Darnold's in the gun. Jones is to his right. Hands it. No, he fakes the handoff to Jones and passes it to Jefferson, but only a yard and a half, 2 yards, somewhere in there. I don't know if almond milk is supposed to taste bad, but I think I may have had this too long. In the meantime, Jones back to pass. No! Dropped by Munt. Got his hands on it, but ground forced him to cough it up. So it's 3rd and 9. Akers is now the running back. Darnold's back to pass. He got to Addison for a first down. Down to the 4, and 11 minutes left in the quarter. All right, we got something going. Excuse me. First and goal, 10:30 left. It's a fake handoff to Jones. Darnold, he got Addison! An offensive touchdown for the Vikings. Darnold was in trouble, had to throw on the run, and he threw it what seemed like it was going to be too long of a pass for Addison to catch, but Addison dove for it, and to his credit, he went and got it. And I think that was a one-hander. So Reichertz gets the extra point and ties the game. So now we get to see the angle of how he caught it. Yep, it was a one-hander. Pressed against his shoulder pad. Impressive. That definitely woke me up. But now I gotta go away again to clean up my mess for my evening snack. Ugh. I'll bring some Powerade to keep my whistle wet for the rest of the game. also going to throw this away, too. I think it was more than half full. Oops. So let's see if the Colts can respond. Reichert kicks it off. Tries to hit the coffin corner, and it'll be a touchback. Yes. First offense's TD of the day. Flacco's only attempted 10 passes. He's completed 6. But the run game hasn't gone the way they'd hoped. They do a wide receiver end around and get a first down out of it. Number 16, Doolin. And 10 minutes left in the third. Ball's at the 42 of the Colts. And fake handoff to Taylor. Flacco's back to pass, not finding anyone. Now he throws it. And he gets to Pierce and could have had Taylor too. Not enough for a first down, though. Or did it? So there is a first down. Replay. Quick assist. So it's on the 48 of the Vikings now. Colts moving a bit quickly too. 9 minutes left in the quarter. Flacco back to pass. And he guns it out of bounds. And we have a late flag holding on the offense. Number 72. Smith is the guilty party. So 1st and 20. Ball's now back at the 42, or just a little past the 42 of the Colts. Flacco to pass, and he was almost dropped for a sack. He got it off in time, but he had to underthrow it in the process. So it's incomplete. We're 2nd and 20. He got his, he was passing, so it was kind of fluttering. He's kind of lucky it did drop into the turf quickly, because if he had lofted it up, it was right for interception. Flacco under good protection this time, and they get Pittman. More than 10 yards, but it'll still be third down. Officially 3rd and 6. So that was a 14-yard catch. Ball's at the 44 of the Vikings. Flacco looks like he's audibling. Play clock's running down, though. He gets it off in time. Does the center. Flacco's in trouble. And, almost picked off. It got tipped at the line towards Pace, but he couldn't hold on to it. Greenard was the one who had an initial hand on it at the line. Oh, they're going to go for it. 8 minutes left. Interesting. It's not enough to induce an offsides because it's 4th and 6. They end up calling a delay of game on the Colts. So they're going to punt it. Sanchez will be the punter. Powell will be the returner again. The delay of game was declined. Sanchez looks like he's going to try and pooch it into the... No, it goes to the left as opposed to the right. Bounces into the end zone for a touchback. So, time to position my bike to go out. Not quite yet. We're back. Just in time, apparently. I'm back. I'm back, Nash. I said why I was going away. Well, at any rate, the Vikings got a first down on that last pass play. Darnold's back to pass again, and he has to chuck it as he couldn't find anybody, but we got another flag. Holding on the defense. And that might as well have been called tackling on the defense. Jones, number 40, is the guilty party. No wonder Darnold couldn't find anybody. His receivers are being tackled to the ground. $7:10 left in the quarter. Darnold's under center, and now he hands off to Jones. And to the Vikings' credit, they're continuing to try and get the run going. Neither team been able to get any traction with the run, though. Now down to 6:30. Darnold in the shotgun is back to pass, and he's under pressure, and he's going to run, and he is going to slide to midfield, gets the first down easily. He can run, that sucker. I've saw him do it with the Jets a couple times. Unfortunately, when he was there, they didn't have the talent or didn't utilize it to the best of their ability. We're now under 6 minutes. Darnold back to pass, gets it to Jones, who gets about 8.5, but he had to nearly pick the football up off the turf. That was quite the low-hanging fruit. $20 on the tackle, and Oliver is being taken off for an injury. 5:35 left to go in the quarter. Ball's at the 42.5. Jones gets the ball again, but can't get anything after that. And the fans are sounding a little restless and maybe frustrated. Oh. And the kicker apparently is hurt for the Vikings. Aston's in motion on this play now. 3rd and 2. Darnold back to pass. He's going to try and get to Jefferson, and he does, just short of the goal line. You can bet he's feeling relieved now that he's being featured more tonight. This is probably a time when they wish they had gone zone. They went man coverage, but Darnold threw it in a perfect position for Jefferson to make the cash. In the meantime, on 1st and goal, Jones is again stopped at the line of scrimmage. And we're getting a little bit of pushing and jawing. Oh, and Jones is really hot. We now have under 4 minutes in the third. Oops. So, play clock was running down. Forced the Vikes to call a timeout. They got it in just before the play clock wound down. So obviously not a thing the Vikings wanted to have happen. Well, the Vikings have just dominated this game in yardage and possession, but it's only a tie. Darnold's in the gun. Pitches it to Jones, who almost get picked in the... the D lineman got there early, forced Jones to try and double back, and by then the rest of the D line got him. They were trying to put a wide receiver on a D-line guy, and that never works out. Especially since he can't block below the knees anymore. So 3rd and goal, Darnold's back to pass, and he gets it to Naylor for the touchdown. And the Vikes have 2 in a row. Nash, you back? Whoever's here, I appreciate you being here. Reichert hits the extra point. So the Vikes are up 14-7. And they got the big Mo on their side now. And the Colts really have to do something if they're going to be able to stay in this game. All right, I'm not going away for good just yet. Just going to check on my game. I'm right. I'm still here. Nice look at the Minnesota State House. Darnold got dumped on his behind a little late. And now it looks like he's a bit hurt. In the meantime, Reichert's kicking it off. I'm back. I told you I was coming back. I gotta do stuff at times, man. I'm an adult now. I'm an adult now. I got the problems of an adult on my head, my shoulders. I'm an adult now. Ooh, he got backed into his own offensive lineman. Okay, well, it was a touchback, and Flacco's under center. He's pitching it to Taylor, who cannot get anywhere again. Maybe gets a yard. Talk to me, man. I got to be kept engaged. I can't just sit here and try to point my head at the floor while commercials go by. Okay, 2nd and 9. Clock continues to run. Almost 2 minutes left. Flacco back to pass now. Gets it to Taylor again. And he gets about 4. So on 3rd and 5. Flacco's in the gun. Got a new running back to his right. And Flacco finds a wide open receiver. Downs number 1. Gets the first. How appropriate. So the Vikings have been continually faking the blitz. But that time, sometimes that makes things weird in terms of pass protection, but that time it went well. And he gets downs again, and again it's another first down for number 1. And we're officially under a minute in the quarter. Should be able to get another playoff in time. And they're going to make sure of it. Going no huddle. And it's a handoff to Taylor. Oh no, Trey Sherman. And he gets about as much success as Taylor did, only getting a yard. And down to 10 seconds, and they're going to just go to the next. Oh no, they're going to try another no huddle thing. Or are they? Nope. Never mind. All right. So, anybody have anything to say? Or type in this case. Ooh, we got another person checking me out. Welcome aboard, even though it's just a commercial break. Feel free to chat me up if you want. Take off your jacket and stay a while. I've run out of near sports news to talk to or talk about. Trying to see if my Portland Thorns are doing well enough to be in the playoffs. 26 games have been played in the season. And they're going over the quarterback carousel in Indy since Luck went out and was forced to retire early. Something Colts fans have rued for a long time. Flacco fakes a handoff to Taylor, and he's forced to the ground, but he manages to get a yard out of it and not be a sack. But there's a flag on the play. One of Jade's headbands again. And they're talking, ref's talking over with the umpire. And they're still talking about it. Ooh, illegal shot block on the offense. Yeah, you can't block below the knees. Questionable call in my opinion. But it's a 15-yarder. And it's 2nd and 25. So it's all the way back to the Colts 48. And now we have another penalty, and it looks like we have a cha-cha. Yep, 72. Okay, Vikes crowd is really in a frenzy now. It's 2nd and 30. They really want to see their team pin the Colts back even more. Flacco passes it, and did he make it? They are saying yes. Mitchell was the one who caught it on the side, along the sideline. Oh, tippy-toed in. It didn't look like the second foot got in, but he did. Jeez. And he kept possession of the ball. So that was a 22-yard pass. 3rd and 8 now. They're at least within field goal range. And Flacco's, he intercepted. Ex-Cardinal Byron Murphy gets it. Oh, after such a big play to go out like that. Tried to hit downs, and it just wasn't thrown high enough. as they exit out to the dulcet tones of Morris Day and the Time. So apparently, in looking at the advanced NWSL schedule, all the games have been played. And there are 4 playoff games to be played next weekend. And from the looks of things, the top 4 teams have totally dominated. Orlando, Washington, Gotham, and Kansas City are 1 through 4 respectively. And it's a wide gulf between them and the other 4 teams who only had none of whom had more than 40 points in the season, while all the top 4 teams were at least had 55 points. So the Thorns will play Gotham yet again. But this time they'll be doing it on the road. Okay. Oh my goodness. Another return of turnovers. Darnold's just got picked off. Cross with the interception. Ay, 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 ay. Darnold thought he had Jefferson open, but that was not the case. And Cross was able to return it into Vikings territory all the way to the 25. So the Colts might get another shot at this. Flacco under center. He hands it off to Taylor, but he is just continuously stuffed. As 14 minutes are left in the game. To answer your questions, let me go ahead and take a look at the NHL. My Cards won. They, like I said, beat the Bears handsomely and handily. I don't really follow the NHL much since my Coyotes got taken away to Utah. Flacco's back to pass again. He gets it to Downs yet again. Again, it's only for a yard, so it's 3rd and 8. NHL has only just gotten off to their start. Interesting that you root for the Sabres. Oh, well, wait, you root for the Bills, too. You got to explain to me again how the Buffalo connection goes in your family, if anything. Well, at any rate, Flacco is back to pass. He got that snap in a hurry, and almost bobbled it. Tried to get to Pittman, but it was too low and it's incomplete. So let's see if Gay can hit the field goal this time. There have been miscues aplenty by both offenses and special teams. And so there have at least been 10 games played by each NHL team, so it's well underway. Let's see. The snap, the hold, the kick, and it singes the left upright, but it's in nevertheless. So it's 14-10 Vikings. Boy, they want to make it difficult for themselves, both teams, to score in this game. Let's see. So who can my team be with the absence of my Coyotes? The Utah Hockey Club is getting off to a halfway decent start. The Wild only have one regular time loss, 2 overtime losses. They've won 3 in a row and are competing with the Jets for the number 1 spot in the Central Division of the Western Conference. So Jade, I imagine, would be happy about that. Now, I wonder what she thinks about that, and you think about that, and about the fact that Karl Anthony Towns was freed from the T-Wolves to the Knicks. Really, the only team I can see rooting for is the Kraken, just because they're just 100 and so miles up I-5 from me. They're the first NHL team to have a female assistant coach, so I'm watching that with great interest. They're in 6th now. We're tied for 5th with Edmonton, but by virtue of having more losses, the tiebreaker goes to the Oilers, who have seemed to have a Stanley Cup loss hangover. Good on Josh Allen. Hope Bills Mafia is responding to that. So Gay's going to kick it off with 12:41 left in the game. And it's going to be a touchback. So what few kickoffs there have all been touchbacks. Okay, let's see if they can avoid the turnover bug this time, the Vikings. Darnold hands it off to Akers, who cuts back and gets a decent yard, or 5 or 6. And let's see if they can't bleed the clock down while they try and establish this run game late. But we're gonna have a no huddle again. So much for bleeding the clock. And they're handing it off again to Akers again, who gets a nice hole up the middle and gets to the 50. Blackman, number 32, had the tackle. Nice open field tackle for the guy. Darnold in the gun, hands it off to Akers again, and he gets another good run out of it and gets another first down. All the way to 39. And you got to wonder if the Indy defense is starting to get a little tired. They've been out there for quite a while now. So he was traded from the Texans after initially being with the Rams. With the success of Mixon, it's probably no wonder they traded him. And now Darnold's back to pass again, and he has to spiral it into the ground, so that stops the clock. You wonder why they'd go with the pass again, considering the D-line of the Colts has at least been able to pressure Darnold all night. Ooh, $500,000. That's good. So we have another handoff to Akers this time, but they tried a bit of a trickeration, and it didn't go well. Moore was able to tackle him at the line of scrimmage. So 3rd and 10. Say, Nash, what do you think of Chris Collinsworth? I don't understand the level of hate he gets. I've never had it properly explained as to why people hate him so much. At any rate, 3rd and 10. Darnold's now back to pass, and he's in trouble again and brought down again. Number 51 with the sack. Pay. And we're under 10 minutes, so the Colts still have a shot at it. That's the 4th sack they've had. The Vikings haven't had any. So a couple of stunts and 5 men rushing. .9:30 left. The punt is away by Wright. Downs is going to be the returner. Gets through the first wave, but can't get through the second. Interesting answer, Nash. I couldn't blame him. I do the same damn thing. I mean, Mahomes, you got a lot of great quarterbacks in this era. But Mahomes is just a cut above. The way he moves and fakes. Allen's amazing. Tagovailoa, Murray, Jaden Daniels, former Sun Devil turned LSU Tiger. Bo Nix has had his moments, as had Caleb Williams. Time will tell for the others who have been drafted in the 20s, like Richardson and Bryce Young. Trying to think who else. Yeah, the Chiefs as a whole, their offense has struggled somewhat, but the defense has made up for it. And speaking of the Chiefs, they're playing on Monday night against the Bucks. So we'll see if they can keep their undefeated streak going. The Bucks are in a bit of a free fall since getting off to that hot start. Next Sunday's game, that's going to be a good one. I'm very much looking forward to it. CJ Stroud. How could I forget CJ Stroud? He's been on fire since coming in last year too. Flacco, in the meantime, gets it off to Taylor, but it's dropped and incomplete. Let me take a look at the next week's schedule for everybody. Okay, 2nd and 10. Flacco back to pass again. Guns it and gets it completed to Pierce. And it's for a first down. So they could still potentially come back and win this game. So it's the Bengals and the Ravens this upcoming Thursday. I don't know if that's going to be a bad game. The Bengals are coming alive as of late. The Ravens had a bad loss against Cleveland, although that was on the road for them. As Taylor finally gets something more than a yard on his latest run, about 4. 8:30 left in the game. These divisional games are hugely unpredictable. And even though it's in Baltimore, I think the Bengals are going to come loaded. And the kitty will go meow once again. The orange kitty, anyway. The teal kitty didn't do so bad today either. In the meantime, Doolin tries to do the end run. Gets 4. 1 yard to go for a first down. No, wait. The blue-green kitty lost to the Eagles, and then the remaining kitty oh yeah, the Lions. The light blue kitty, the Honolulu blue kitty did well. And Taylor finally gets something of a great run and gets a first down in the process. Let's see. That was at the 44 or 45. He got about 7. I thought he had gotten 10, but no. But it's still a better run than what he's been getting before. And again, they hand it off to him. And again, he gets something better than a yard, about 4. So they're just trying to grind down the Vikes as the best as they can. I wonder why it took this long for them to get the run game going. But they badly needed to do it. Okay, and now we've got Sherman, who runs this time and gets a decent chunk of yardage, but it's going to be 3rd and 2. Sermon as opposed to Sherman. Taylor looks a bit hurt. Yeah, the Panthers are 2-7, so I don't think there are any teams left with just one win because the Titans beat the Patriots in overtime. The ball's at the 40, and Flacco's back to pass, and he gets. Oh, nope. Pittman was the intended receiver, but he was in the middle of a Vikings sandwich. So it'll be 4th and 2. And Harrison Smith arrived around the same time the ball got to Pittman. Oh. So apparently it looks like they're going for it. They may just try and draw the Vikings offside, though. Oh no, they hiked. They snapped it. Oh. Tried to get to Doolin. He had it in his hand, but he got hit as he was coming down by Harrison Smith, and it's incomplete, and the Vikings get the ball back. 5:20 left in the game. Okay. Almost 8 o'clock now. And hooray for the Panthers. Fan base has suffered enough. Not as much as the Saints over time. But boy, the Saints are back to being the Aints again, unfortunately. Let's see if we can't take a look at how the standings are. Boy, the Bills are really dominating the East. If they keep it up, it wouldn't surprise me if they wrap up the division before December. The Steelers having a bye week. They have time to figure things out for the rest of the season. They're half a game ahead of the Ravens. The Texans, depending if the Colts lose, they'll be 2 games ahead of the Colts for first there. And of course, the Chiefs are all that and more. We'll see if they can't go undefeated. If they win, they'll be 3 games ahead of the Chargers. A lot of teams with just 2 wins in the AFC alone. There are actually 6. In the meantime, Aaron Jones gets the handoff, manages to get away from being tackled behind the line of scrimmage, but can only get a yard eventually. As we look at the NFC, Commanders and the Eagles are the class of the East. The NFC North is still king, with everyone being at 500 or higher. The Falcons are a game and a half ahead of the Bucks. If the Bucks win, that'll make things at least a little more interesting in the South. Darnold's back to pass. Oh, he got Addison in Colts territory. It looked like the Vikings receiver was going to get fell down, but yeah, it was Jefferson who fell. Oh, he tripped over his own feet. But he had Addison all the way. So the ball's at the 38 of the Colts. And you would think that they would try and burn off some clock with the run game. And that's what they do to get to Jones, who bounces off a tackler, and he gets forced out of bounds by Jones. But he gets the first down, it looks like, which is a good thing. Momentarily stops the clock with 3:49. And I can never remember when they're supposed to stop the clock when they do go out of bounds and not start it back up again. So he did get the first down, and the clock hasn't started, so we're at that point where it stops when they go out of bounds for good. And Jones gets another cutback run and gets another long gain, relatively long, all things considered. He gets 8 yards. .330 left in the game. Of course, in the West, the 4 teams are separated by a mere game. So there are 9 teams in total with only 2 wins. So it's a race. It'll be a race to the bottom. Jones gets the handoff yet again. Again, he has to cut back. Manages to avoid getting tackled for a loss, but only gets 2. In the meantime, the Colts take a timeout with exactly 3 minutes left. Week 11, you say? Yeah. That'd be 2 weeks from now if every other team loses. So it's 3rd and inches. Handoff is to Jones, and he gets the first down. Pushes a bunch of Colts out of his way until he's brought down. Colts are forced to call another timeout. Oh, we got more people in here. Nice to see ya. Feel free to chat me up about anything. I know there isn't much time left in the game. So yeah, it's like every week we're going to have a tank bowl situation. The Jets only have 3 wins, as well as the Cowboys. And NBC and Peak is showcasing their shows again, along with Peacock. J.J. McCarthy sighting. So the ball's at the 13 of the Colts. Darnold's under center, and he's handing it off to Jones, who loses a yard. And this time the clock isn't stopping. The Vikes have to call another play before the 2-minute warning. And play clock's winding down something fierce, and they're having to rush to the line. And they're going to fake the run, go back to pass, and he got Oliver wide open for the touchdown. Ooh, ran the naked bootleg, but he happened to find Oliver and wide open in the end zone. Well, Reichert's hurt, but he's still going out there hitting the extra points. And he lofted it up well enough that Oliver could reach back and get it because the pass was thrown behind him. Well, the Vikings and their fans will certainly feel good about getting off the snide. So they'll have a full lock on second place in their division, with the Packers losing earlier today to the Lions in Green Bay, rather convincingly. Reichert kicks it off, and despite his injured leg, he's able to get it deep enough into the end zone that the Colts call for a touchback. So Flacco's back to pass, and he's sacked. They finally get to him with 2 minutes left in the game. They finally get a sack. And we have the 2-minute warning. And I'm going to call it a night. I don't think Flacco's going to be able to lead a comeback at the rate things are going. They only got one field goal as offensive scoring output. Took an early lead with a pickup 6, and it's been nothing ever since pretty much. Relied on their defense to make a couple plays, but they couldn't reciprocate. So, Nash, you have a good rest of your night. And thanks for coming by on duty. It turns out you weren't really needed that much in terms of moderation, which is a shame. I was kind of hoping to get rated due to wearing this shirt alone, but some things don't always work the way you want them out to. So, thus endeth the stream. Vikings look like they're going to go on their way to a 6th win this season. Bye-bye. Bye, Bonds.